From the largest track on the schedule to the most technical track on the schedule, welcome to Fairbury and the Dirt Championship eSports Pro Late Model Division. Join Chapasso up in the booth with you tonight. Joined with me by my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the living legend himself, the man from the Great White North, Mr. Kevin Cunyu. And Kevin, this is not an easy track to get around, my friend.
It does not look like it. It looks very small and tight.
Remember the track you used to run around in high school when they would make you run a mile in gym class?
Yep.
Or in your case, 1,600 meters. Considering that you're not on American. Yeah, this is that same size track, 1/4 of a mile around, 400 meters for our friends on the empirical, or not on the empirical system. So, very tight confines tonight, very short field tonight. Qualifying actually just wrapping up.
Joseph LaValle just discovered how tight it was as he perched his car on the concrete barrier on the infield.
Yes, he did, and that's very easy to do here. Brand new name to the league, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. So, Travis, unfortunately, I couldn't reach you before we went live. So,
I'm going to say Travis Storohan.
I was going to say Storjahan, but okay,
no,
we'll
go with the silent J when it comes to the Eastern European or the Scandinavian names.
And we'll let him kick you in the ding-ding if I get it wrong.
Yeah.
So Travis Storahan, set in quick time, 12.671 seconds. But last week's winner, Mitch Stiles, right on his back bumper with a 12.678. So only 7 1,000ths of a second separate your front row in this heat race. Now, basically, they're just racing to see where they start in the feature. And give me one quick second here, folks. Yep, 40 laps of scheduled distance around this quarter-mile bull ring. And, Kevin, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there is no retaining wall on the outside of turn 1.
No.
So that's something these guys are going to have to be real mindful of. You kind of have a wall. There's kind of a wall there, but
you could also
there's a gap.
Yeah.
There's a gap between the wall and the racing surface. So, we hear the term all the time. These guys are rim riding. They're seriously rim riding tonight because they're not going to be able to put the rear fender on the wall like they were able to do last week at Knoxville. This week, they go to put the rear fender on the wall. They're putting the car back on the hauler piece by piece.
Yeah.
So, 9 cars in the field tonight. Storjahan set in quick time. Mitch Stiles sitting second quick. Jonathan Coombs third quick. Matty Queen in the 007 going fourth quick. Joseph LaValle going fifth quick. Keith Pate went sixth quick. Seventh going to the number 7 of Bob Klein. Dan LaValle going eighth quick. And Richard Metzdorf, the only other car to put in a time, went ninth quick with a 13.3. So little off the pace for the 11 of Metzdorf. And from what I've seen, everybody's got the right transponder tonight.
Except Dan LaValle, who wants to be the A1 still. He's A1.
And Matty Queen. Oh, no, they got Matty Queen listed as a 007 for once.
Yep.
So that's a good thing.
It's perfect. So we just have to remember that Dan LaValle is A1 in his books.
He is A1, and unfortunately, the iRacing doesn't let us have letters. So he got the 5 transponder tonight. We've got a really short field for a really short track. So expect this one to go relatively quickly. As heat race, well, the only heat race tonight forming up, pace truck peels off on the backstretch, and Storjahan has to stay at pace speed until that green flag comes out, and he is going to get popped for jumping the start. He picked it up in the middle of 3 and 4, and unfortunately, you're going to see the 12 start shotgun on the field in the feature, as they are already 3 wide behind him. That's Styles, Coombs, and Queen just throwing hand grenades at each other right now. As Queen slips a little high going through 1 and 2. That is, it's Coombs on the high side, Styles on the low side, Queen trying to find a hole, Storahan right now in control of the field, and I don't think Race Control really caught it. But, these guys are getting it done. 8 laps of scheduled distance here right now. We are going to be halfway this time across the stripe. Storahan, Coombs, Styles, Queen, and LaValle, your top 5. As the A1 of Dan LaValle peels off. So that's Joe LaValle that is sitting 5th. And Coombs and Styles have just been in lockstep all night long. I'm taking a look at their practice times and their qualifying times, and they were right there next to each other all damn night long, from the time they rolled off the hall until right now, still side by side. Less than 2 1,000ths of a second separated them at the stripe that time. Storahan, though, is on another planet. He's found some grip in that middle groove, and throttle control is key right now as this track is starting to slick off. You can really see it start to get greasy. White dirt, checkered flag out. Storahan coming across the line first, but I think he's going to get popped for jumping the start, because he picked the throttle up before that green flag came out. So something we're probably going to need to...
I have to say, though, that was really great racing. What a fantastic job they did in that first heat.
Oh, absolutely. They kept it clean and hammered down and go for it, boys. Unfortunately, the bad luck for Dan LaValle in the A1. Not sure what happened there. I'm being told clogged fuel filter for the A1. Don't you hate when that happens, especially on a dirt track?
Absolutely.
So it's going to relegate LaValle. He was originally supposed to start in 8th. It's going to drop him back to 9th. Richard Metzdorf finished the heat race. He's going to move up a spot. There's only 9 cars on the property tonight. Because Adam Maddox is our race control. So if you see the 9 pop up, he has actually decided to park it tonight because he is going to be race control. So Storahan just been on rails all night long. Coombs and Styles are going to have to adjust on their sets to try to make sure that they can hang with the newcomer. Again, first night here. John Coombs, though, by showing up tonight, has essentially clinched the championship. The battle, though, and I'm going to pull that up right now so I can give you the exact numbers. The battle from second on back, very tight. As
Don't keep us in suspense, Tony.
to get it pulled up. And my computer is not playing nice with me right now, so bear with me, folks. So, John Coombs shows the way, 441 points.
Wow.
Matty Queen currently sits in second with 317 points. And he's only 5 points ahead of Bob Klein. Mitch Stiles has an outside chance to break into the top 3 if he has a good finish tonight. He's got to hope for problems for Queen and problems for Klein. Bob Schaefer, not on the property. Cody Sieber, not on the property. Tim Prelog, not on the property. Doug Sigmund, not on the property. So that means Joe LaValle, who's currently sitting in ninth, has the opportunity to gain a ton of points. He could probably put it in the top 5 if he has a good finish tonight. Jared Campos, not on the property. Keith Pate, not on the property. So there's your battle for 10.
Keith is on the track.
Keith is on the track. I stand corrected. I do apologize. So Pate is here. So but Campos isn't. So Pate, by virtue of showing up tonight, is going to get a top 10 point finish guaranteed as long as he shows up next week. Metstorf can move into the top 10 tonight in the 11th. Adam Maddox has basically said, I'm not driving the rest of the season because I'm going to be live race control for everybody. So, he is...
Thank you, sir.
We do appreciate it. That is greatly appreciated, as after tonight there is only going to be one race left, and that's the 50-lapper at Eldora. So...
You always need to have somebody to keep race car drivers in line.
Yeah, you kind of do, and let's face it, you've got, anywhere between 10 and 20 Type A personalities showing up in a location at any given time. It's not the easiest thing. It's kind of like herding cats at sometimes. And this is coming from a guy that used to be race control for 2 leagues that we used to broadcast.
Well, yeah, I mean, also, it's like what it is, right? I mean, I've had this talk with other people in regards to the enforcement of, track limits. And, I'm like, well, it's the race car driver's job to find every available exploit, So it's got to be somebody else's job to, keep those exploits to a minimum.
Absolutely. Rule books are only to tell you what you can't do.
Yeah.
And the reason why they tell you what you can't do is because somebody's already tried it.
Exactly.
So, feature event time, 40 laps of scheduled distance here tonight. Storahan ran away with the heat race. He's going to be starting up on the point, setting quick time tonight. Mitch Stiles going to start outside row number 1. Your points leader, Jonathan Coombs, is going to start inside row number 2. He's going to be joined with Matty Queen, who currently sits 3rd in points.
Waiting for Matty Queen to join up?
2nd in points, I'm sorry. Queen sits 2nd in points.
There he is.
Then you have row number 3 is going to go to Joe LaValle and Keith Pate. Your 3rd place in points, Bob Klein, starting in 7th place. He's going to be starting next to Rich Metstorf. And Dan LaValle starting shotgun on the field in the A1. Looks like they got a new fuel filter on that piece, so look for him to make a march forward. 40 laps of scheduled distance here, and Mitch Stiles, not wanting to wait on the pace truck, just fires it up, pulls the trigger, and calls it good.
That was unexpected.
All right, then. So he gets back behind the pace truck, the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Pace truck's going to peel off in the middle of the back straightaway. Storahan going to have control of the field. And remember, he can't fire until the green flag comes out on the initial start. After that, all restarts are on the leader between turns 3 and 4. So the only thing that's left to do is you're going to wipe the visor, you're going to take a tear off, you're going to pull the belts tight one more time. Grandpa, happy Thanksgiving. It's time to get it on at Fairbury. Green flag comes out, and Storahan jumps out to an early lead as Coombs was trying something, and here comes Stiles to the inside. Storahan didn't get the same start that he got last time. He actually had to wait on it this time. That was his one warning, being as he is new to the league, as Stiles and Storahan just lock step right now, putting on a clinic as they're starting to put a gap between themselves and the 87 of Coombs. Now, we know Coombs usually sets up a long-run car. He's that car is going to be there at the end of the race.
Look
He
at
can
those
read the track.
two.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Those two are just mirroring each other, turn for turn.
Oh, absolutely. In lockstep right now. About a half a car length to the good is Storahan in the 12.
Styles just gets into Storahan.
And Storahan didn't give him any room going into 3. So can't really fault anybody there. It's the nature of the beast. And that one,
did not work out for Styles.
Not at all. Let's go back and take a look at that one. Because it looked like he may have caught the concrete barrier. They throw it into turn number 3. Just barely missing the powdered donut. And then gets run over by the pace truck. You gotta love iRacing physics, folks.
It's a hologram.
It's an optical delusion.
Hey,
So Styles gonna have to start
remark.
shotgun. So do I. So Styles gonna have to start shotgun on the field. He's gonna have to climb his way back up through this mess. As Storahan gonna have the button this time. And we are back underway. Pulls the trigger a little bit early, catches Coombs. Didn't catch him asleep enough because Coombs is on a charge right now. He's picking up where Styles left off. Right there on the inside quarter panel. So Storahan, Coombs, Joe LaValle, Bob Klein, and Matty Queen rounding out your top 10. Klein running that real high line, just razor's edge towards the edge of the track right now. And Coombs trying to go up there in 1 and 2, seeing if there's anything there. Didn't look like there was. And Klein gets by LaValle coming off a 4. Looks like that top lane is starting to come in if you're set up right. And we're back under yellow.
Oh, what happened? That's the 11 has pulled over.
Something happened to Rich Metzdorf. Let's go back and take a look.
Oh, he got into the wall coming down the back straight.
That's actually the front straight.
Oh, sorry, the front straight.
Yeah, our cameras are actually on the back straightaway, folks, for those of you who are wondering. The flag stand is actually on the other side of the track.
Ah, that's why I was confused.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So, yeah, he clobbered that concrete on the flag side straightaway. And that concrete is about 3 foot thick. You're not moving it too well with a dirt late model.
Did you notice the, who is that well, we're off.
We're back underway. I gotta love the quick cautions here. As Storahan gets a little bit better of a start that time. But check out Bob Klein in the 7, running that high line. He is making ground and making it quick right now on John Coombs. Coombs still running that low middle line. It's starting to go away. You can see it. You can see it in the light. It's starting to slick off, and there's a little bit of a light second cushion starting to form. But where these guys are running, they're going to wear that out quicker than anything. And right now, it looks like Joe LaValle and Bob Klein are the only two daring enough to go up there. But don't look now. But Mitch Styles has gotten around Joe LaValle, and he is still on a charge.
Yeah,
Matter
absolutely.
of fact, he's battling with Matty Queen right now. Picks up into 4th place. Now sets his sights on reeling in 3rd place Bob Klein. And he needs this finish because Klein is ahead of him right now in points. Matter of fact, that is the battle. Styles is in 4th, Klein's in 3rd. About 30 points separate the two of them. So every point counts, as Storahan and Coombs have just checked out. And Coombs got it all wrong going through 1 and 2. Went a little too high, flirting with disaster up there. And Bob Klein, you got to give him credit. He is using that cushion up on the high side to his advantage to carry as much speed around this tight place as he possibly can. You can see the drive that he gets off the corner.
Absolutely.
He gives up just a little bit of the ground to Styles. Styles is going to have to throw a slider from hell to get in front of Klein and hope Klein, his dam doesn't burst, shall we say. Because if it does, Styles is catching a race car to the back bumper.
Styles is
as they're side by side.
Yeah,
here we go.
He might get it done. Throws it in early.
Klein is he carries so much speed. Oh, he bobbles. Klein bobbles off a 4. That's going to let Styles. No, he got him at the line. Wow.
Well done, Stein.
1/1000th of a second at the stripe, but it's academic now. There goes Styles up into third. Started shotgun on the restart. Is already into third. And now he sets his sights. He's running out of time, though, as we are already just past the halfway point. 22 laps in the books of 40.
It's got the ESPN logo on the hood there, liking that.
Absolutely. As that's the points leader, John Coombs, in front of him. Now, Coombs, all he's got to do is show up and just, take a time anywhere next week. Just roll off, take the green flag for a heat race, and he's the points champion. That's how far ahead John Coombs is with the finishes that he's been having. I dare say, I believe we've interviewed him every race this season because he's finished top 3.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Storahan just is schooling these guys. And, that's bus length between he and Coombs.
He is starting to slow down. He's about 200ths of a second now slower than Jonathan Coombs the last time by.
And you saw him go to the high side to see if there's anything up there through 3 and 4. Didn't like what he saw. Goes right back to that middle lane where there is a little bit of traction. Styles, though, has closed right in on Coombs. The battle is for second. Coombs has it. Styles wants it. And they've got about 2 bus lengths on Bob Klein right now. As Klein still sticking to that high lane, and that cushion is pushing ever closer to that razor's edge that is the lip of the track. As Coombs goes up there, come through 3 and 4, gains a little bit of an advantage on Styles. And Styles battles back in 3. Coombs able to carry more speed, though, and then throws it low. Able to get the drive off at 2. 8 laps to go. 2.5 seconds to the good. Storahan shows the way. Coombs sits in second. Styles in third. Klein in fourth. Matty Queen in fifth. Matty Queen needs this points night. He needs it badly, and so does Joe LaValle. Dan LaValle's already up into the 6th spot. Richard Metzdorf has put it on the hauler. Keith Pate, the last car still running, sits in 8th. And Styles is right on Coombs. He was right there going through the last corner, trying to carry speed on the high side. He's got to be careful because he's got Bob Klein breathing down his neck, though, as we are going to be 5 to go this coming time across the stripe. Storahan is now out to just over 3.25 seconds to the good. Storahan, Coombs, Styles, and Klein. There's a 3-second gap between Klein and Queen. As Klein is reeling in Mitch Styles. Styles not having the run he was hoping for. Almost caught the powdered donut on the opening lap. That's the tractor tire that's on the inside to separate the track from the infield. As Storahan, 3 to go. 4 seconds to the good now. Coombs starting to fade as that middle lane is starting to go away. Popsicle sticks are going to be in the air, this time across the stripe. Storahan, full straightaway lead now over John Coombs. Coombs has Styles and Klein breathing down his neck. Popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go. Storahan is getting into lap traffic. That's going to be fun as checkered flag is out. Sorry, white flag is out. Storahan comes down the back straightaway. And that is the race.
There
Storahan dominating at Fairbury. Jonathan Coombs hanging on for second. 2 car lengths to the good over Mitch Styles. Bob Klein doing everything he could except throw the kitchen sink at him. Was not able to get by Mitch Styles, who comes home in third. Bob Klein in fourth. Matty Queen in fifth. Joe LaValle coming home in sixth. Dan LaValle in seventh. Keith Pate gets a top 10. Needed that desperately tonight for the point standings. Richard Metzdorf put it on the hauler. And we're being told blown transmission on the 11.
Oh, that's terrible.
So, yeah. So that's definitely not something you ever really want to see. As we are joined right now by the man who just put on a dominating performance. Welcome to the Dirt Championship eSports Pro Late Model Division, Travis Storahan.
Hey,
Storahan or Storjahan?
Story on, actually.
Storyahan. We were both wrong.
Yeah.
Okay then. Travis, your first race, and you picked arguably the most difficult, tight, demanding technical track you could have picked.
Oh yeah, I'm from Iowa. We have a lot of these really tight bull rings around here. Marshtown Speedway specifically is my home track, so I really enjoy these tight little bull rings, and with the treacherous, really difficult, and flirting with what do they say? Flirting with the angels and dancing with the devil on the top, or using a lot the bottom for throttle control. So yeah, I really enjoy these short tracks.
Well, you were definitely the class of the field all night long. Set in quick time in qualifying, ran away with the heat race, ran away with the feature. Mitch Styles gave you a little bit of a battle early. You guys were in lockstep for the first handful of laps. Looked like there was a little bit of beating and banging going on as you both were trying to fight to get positioned down low.
Oh yeah. That's just good old short track racing. Mitch was probably a little better when it was a lot tackier. He definitely was. So he was going to try to get that position on me early and try to hang on to it. And I think he entered a little bit too early, caught that tire. I don't know if he got a meatball and had to go to the pits for some repairs or what happened there, but yeah, he
just missed it and had to park the car. He had to come to a complete stop to miss the powdered donut.
That's too bad because I see he got back up to third and looks like he was catching Coombs, so he might have been catching me too. I was looking at the lap times. Seems like we're running pretty close there at the end.
Absolutely. But, Travis, welcome to the league. Are you going to be joining us next week as we go to the season finale at arguably the most hallowed ground of dirt racing in Rossburg, Ohio, and the Eldora Speedway?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'll be fun. I got to thank John for, I just got back into the kind of winter sim racing thing this last week, so I'm going to give John Coombs there a big shout out for getting me on in this league. Bunch of nice guys in here. So yeah, I'll see you guys at Eldora.
All right. Anybody else you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Reliable Energy Racing, John Coombs, Tanner Tomasi, Jeff Swilly. Thank you guys for the setups, and we're working together with setups, I should say, and everything you guys do. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate that.
All right. Well, Travis, we're going to let you get back up to celebrate with everybody. Congratulations on your first victory in your maiden voyage with the league.
Thank you.
So that is your winner, Travis. As we now move to the man who basically all he's got to do next week is roll into the pit area and take the green flag in a heat race to clinch the championship. We, of course, are talking to the driver of the number 87, your second place finisher tonight, John Coombs. And John, Kevin and I were talking during the broadcast. I think we've spoken to you 7 times this season, and this is only the 7th race.
That's right. The race has been very consistent for me. I've been very lucky this season so far.
Well, talk us through talk us through first of all the start that took place at the start of the feature. We saw you immediately hang a left and try to make it 3 wide going into turn 1, and then it looks like you thought better of it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if I timed the green just right or Travis got a bad start, he spun tires or what. I did not intend to do that. Usually 2 wide in the first corner is a horrible idea for everybody, but I was just like, well, hell, I'm already here, and I just wanted to give them plenty of room. I knew we were going to be 3 wide. Then I was just, I just backed out of it. I knew, just finish top 3, top 4. I knew the points were locked up, so yeah, I just kind of rolled out of the throttle, let them go, and I got to watch a pretty good show there for a few laps. Mitch was really throwing her in there on Travis, and I was kind of waiting for them to kind of wreck each other, honestly. It ended up working kind of badly for Mitch. He got pinched down pretty hard, it looked like, or he drove in too hard. I couldn't tell. But, yeah, that was definitely a more wild start than I had anticipated.
Now, we saw you run a lot of the race on the high line early on, then we saw you kind of drop down low. Was it just searching for grip, or were you
kind of? I was kind of geared for the bottom. I kind of figured it was gonna be a bottom race just because there was a lower car count today than I anticipated. So I'd kind of set up my car earlier in the day for the bottom. I just kind of anticipated that. So wanted to go up high, see if there was anything I could do to catch Travis. There really wasn't a whole lot up there in the beginning. I think Bob started coming in pretty good at the end. I believe that's who it was. And I was just, I had a good enough lead there with that long green flag run. I was just content to run the middle and just finish second and just kind of watch Travis drive off in the distance. But I was kind of glad it was only a 40-lap race instead of a 50-lap race because Mitch was coming. So I wasn't going to really put up a fight with him if he got to my bumper. I was just going to let him go and just take the top 3. But I'll definitely take a second place.
You mentioned 50-lap races. We go from one of the tightest tracks on the tour to the most hallowed ground of all dirt racing next week, and Rossburg, Ohio, the Eldora Speedway for 50 laps. Your thoughts going there? Are you going to try to go out with the money shot, or are you just going to be content to let the chips fall where they may and just take your championship and say, woo?
That depends. I think I'm out of a beer or 2 to celebrate before the race starts, so depending on how good those beers are, either we're going to try and go for the win or just have some fun. Either way, yeah, I just looked, I got like a 90-point lead, and you only get 70 points. So, yeah, just show up next week and do a victory lap around. But I really do love Eldora. It's one of my favorite tracks. I like sitting up top around that wall. So I think a good shot. I would like to make it 8 for 8 and be on the podium every week. So chances are I'll only have maybe a beer and hopefully get to talk to you guys one more time.
Well, the other thing, too, is I've noticed that you're very strong whenever we go to a half mile. So, you kind of do have the podium thing to, to keep up with. So, hopefully we are talking to you next week, not just as a champion, but also a race winner. Best of luck to you next week, John, and congratulations on sewing up the championship a race early.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. It's been fun talking to you, and I will see you guys next week.
Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. Travis, who joined for the first time tonight. He just recently moved kind of around, so he hadn't been on his iRacing setup in a while, and I just jumped on that Reliable Motorsports team that he was a part of. So me and him worked on a setup today with our boss, Jeff, who owns Reliable. So he kind of got me a decent baseline. That's kind of how we do things. Someone builds a good baseline, we send it out, we all kind of tweak on it, make it our own just a little bit. Obviously, he had his a little more dialed in than I did today. I was just a little bit too loose. But, yeah, definitely Travis first, Jeff over at Reliable, and Gavin at Vortex Wraps for making this beautiful wrap for me.
All right. Well, John, again, congratulations on the podium tonight. Congratulations on clinching the championship tonight. And we'll see you next week in Eldora.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So that was our second place finisher and the man who clinched the points championship tonight, John Coombs. Joining us now is our third place finisher and the man who I believe has a still has a chance. I don't quote me on this because I haven't seen the updated points yet. I don't think they're posted yet. There they are. As the man who just moved into second place in points tonight, Mitch Stiles. Mitch, not the race you were hoping for, but you put on a hell of a show in the opening laps of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't the race I wanted. It didn't go how I wanted it to go. Again, set up the car the wrong way, over tightened the car, so I was planning on running a little bit lower than I would have liked to. But, with setup changes at last minute, I always tell myself every time I come in here I'm not going to do it, and yet I do it every time. And kind of felt like I had a good shot at winning that one more than I did, the past couple weeks. Like I said, I like the tight bull rings. Just another one that I let slip because I made a wrong setup change.
Good news is you did move into second place in points, 355 points to Maddie Queen's 335. So 20-point gap between the two of you going into next week's race in Eldora. That track is notorious for going dry slick, so I'm thinking that might fall right into your wheelhouse before the night's out.
I'm hoping so. I need some luck my way. Like you said, I'm excited. I'm glad that I'm in second in points now. It's going to be hard to try and catch John. I don't know if I'll be able to, but
there's no way you can, because you're only going to get 70 points and he's 110 ahead. No, I'm sorry, he's 90 ahead, and the max you can gain in any night is 70. So all he's got to do is roll into it. He doesn't even have to show up next week. But you're still racing Maddie Queen for the second step of the podium, and that points battle is very tight. You're at 355, Maddie Queen's at 335, Bob Klein's at 334. So, the three of you are right there within striking distance of each other.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a great battle with all three of them all season long, and Bob as well. Like I said, I wish I would have had a couple more podiums to get up there with John. Gave him a little bit more of a run for his money on championship points. But hey, I'll take second or third. That's fine with me.
Well, Mitch, again, you put on a hell of a driving clinic tonight. I had to go start shotgun on the restart, and still came home on the podium. That's really something to be proud of, especially the tight confines here at Fairbury. This is not the easiest track to get around. As a matter of fact, this, I dare say, is the most technical track we've visited all season.
Yeah, I mean, for technicality, I definitely put it up there with, if not first, it'd be second to Weedsport. But in the same sense, Weedsport and Fairbury, they both go hand in hand with being technical. You could toss up one or the other. Like I said, great race, great group of guys to run with. Wish I would have, ran up a little front a little longer than I did. Had to drop to the rear because my VR fell off my head and I couldn't see where I was going, so I had to slam on the brakes and stop and cause a caution. I had to apologize to everyone for that.
Well, probably a good thing you did slam on the brakes when you did, because you were about maybe 6 inches from catching a powdered donut to the face.
Yeah, that's what John told me. He was telling me I was pretty close to the tire there.
Yeah, we looked in the replay, and I mean, you were just inches. So it's a good thing self-preservation took over. But anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. And it also, as always, every week, I'd have to thank my wife for letting me jump on here and race.
Absolutely. Without the support of the wives and girlfriends and family members, we wouldn't be able to do what we do most nights. So, big thank to everybody's family to letting them do what they do and putting on a hell of a show that we saw here tonight. But Mitch, we're gonna let you go. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Eldora, and hopefully you'll get a good finish.
Hey, I hope so. Thanks, guys.
All right, so that was our third place finisher, Mitch Stiles. Kevin, we saw another great one here tonight. Short field, very short field. But for the tight confines here of Fairbury, I don't think I would have wanted to see the field too much bigger.
I thought it made for excellent racing. We were able to, keep an eye on. Like, you could take one view in the stands and see the whole race, and that gave, a fair shot for everybody without too much drama or incident. So I thought it was great.
And if it wasn't for that transmission trouble that Metzdorf had, we had 8 cars left on the lead lap at the finish.
Exactly, which is what you love to see.
So, I mean, that's all but one of the starters, and that was because of that transmission problem that Metzdorf had in the 11. But all in all, great race. I mean, you saw Maddie Queen and Bob Klein going at each other all night long. Joe LaValle was right there with them all night long. Keith Pate and Dan LaValle were just throwing bombs at each other for 7th place. I know we didn't talk about them a lot, but because there was a lot of battling going on in front of them.
Yeah.
But these guys showed that they can put on a show here at Fairbury. So, Travis, and I know I'm going to say it wrong. How did he say it?
Oh, it's a Y sound. So not to silent J. It's the Y. So Stroyahan.
Stroyahan.
Or Storyhan.
Storyhan. And Travis, I do apologize. We're going to butcher it.
No,
we
I'll
get it
remember it
figured
now.
out.
Just replace it with a Y. Storyhan.
There we go. Coming home with the victory in his first race with the league. Going to see how well he can do next week to probably throw it on the gauntlet and say he's going to be somebody to contend with next season. As John Coombs finishing second, clinching the championship by 90 points to the good right now over your current second place, who finished third tonight in the race. Second place in points, Mitch Stiles. Bob Klein drops to fourth as he comes home in fourth. Not sure how... Oh, I'm sorry. No. Maddie Queen was the one who dropped positions. He was in third. He and Klein swapped positions in the point standings because Klein finished fourth, Queen finished fifth. Joe LaValle coming home in sixth place. Dan LaValle in seventh. Keith Pate in eighth. Rich Metzdorf in ninth. And like I thought, that was going to put Pate into the top 10. He's currently sitting seventh in points. So another good finish for him. And, the battle's going to be on between he and Joe LaValle, as only 30 points separate the two of them for the battle for fifth. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications. Go ahead and check out the Teespring store. Check out the Facebook page. Check out the Twitter page. Big news being revealed on the brand new ESPN official website. Sam and Frank are going to have more information on that, as their broadcast is scheduled to go off here in a little bit. So be sure to tune in on that one. I believe they're going live. Actually, I think they just went live. Yes, they did. So go ahead and switch over there. For Mr. Kevin Cunha, this is Tony Trapasso saying